What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. No doubt during the time of Kevin Samuels, there was a lot of positive things going on about him, especially about how he was changing the narrative, how he was bringing people together. That is without question. But because you know the truth, it really cuts, as the old folks say, like a double-edged or two-edged sword. And that is exactly what happened with Kevin Samuels. His pretty much just smashing the debates against entitled ladies, letting them know where they would stand with their desires, but they were not where they needed to be. People didn't like him because he wasn't telling the truth. They hated him because of basically how he was saying it. And so because he was hurting feelings and this, that, and the third, right? A lot of women were saying some negative things about Kevin Samuels. Very negative, okay? And also, they were telling other women not to listen to him. So, hey, don't listen to Kevin Samuels. He's this, he's that. He hates black women. He hates this, those kind of things, right? And then I saw this sister, because a brother sent me this email. She is a TikToker, all right? And after listening to Kevin Samuels' videos for the first time, she had this thing to say.
So this is how much influence a sister can have on another sister. Y'all told me not to like Kevin Samuels, and I didn't. Y'all told me that he didn't like black women, he didn't like fat women. I believed you, even though I had never watched one video. I didn't like him because you told me not to like him, and I didn't. So recently I go and I watch some of his videos. Now let me say I do not agree with everything that he says. However, your boy was on point on a few things. So if you've never watched any of his videos, go watch some of his videos. Because when I say I did not like this man, I did not like this man. And I hadn't watched not one video. And if I'm like that, I know it's quite a few other women out there who feels the same way. You have not watched one video, but you don't like that man. Go watch his video.
So guys, here's what I want to talk about right now. I know Kevin Samuels personally. He was a brother that, although he had a harsh way of doing things sometimes, he loved black people, loved black women. He created the best black show ever existing on YouTube, ever. Worked with nothing but black content creators. The man loved being black. He loved black people. All right? Now, here's what I want to deal with. Kevin Samuels had a big black female audience. Almost as many female fans as men, you would think. Just go look at the live chats. If you listen to what he had to say, some of his best work was his 1-hour monologues before the call started. The man was teaching the people from a man's perspective. And if anybody is logical and not taking some few of viral clips out of context, even Nicki Minaj said that. I've seen some clips here and there, but I've never watched the whole show. There's nobody who can watch a whole Kevin Samuels show and come back and say that man hates black women. And while you don't agree with everything, that's what she said. I suggest before you say that you hate Kevin Samuels, go back and listen to what he was actually saying. And what he explains is the problem that men are having with a lot of the entitlement that women are sometimes asking for, things that they don't necessarily qualify themselves for. Basically, if you're broke, you're asking for a man that's rich. He used to always say that, especially with the Jessica girl. What was her name? Forgot what he called her, right? He said you can't even get into the same building as some of these guys. How do you expect to meet a high value man if you can't even get into the vicinity of that man? You're not even being realistic. And is that hatred? Or is it the truth? Because what I like to say is this. If you are a black man, right? You're trying to deal with some of these sisters out here. You're broke though. Fat, musty, out of shape. What are they going to tell you? Can we be honest about it? What are women going to tell you? Hell no. Get it together. You got some nerve wanting to get with some beautiful woman when you don't have this. Or you have, a lot of different kids and stuff like that. You have some of these women that were coming on, 3 and 4 kids by 3 and 4 different dudes, over 40. Some of them saying they're over 250 pounds, yet you expect that you're going to go ahead and deal with some man that's in the, in his financial prime, who has a whole lot of options. It's unrealistic to say that. It doesn't make sense to say that. And if women listen to Kevin Samuels, you would understand, okay, number one, he's taking his time to explain himself. So guy doesn't hate me. And number two, what he's saying, it makes sense. Out of anybody that's been able to reach over to women, and this is no diss at Brother Andrew Tate, but nobody could get through to women like Kevin Samuels. Never. No man. Not me. Not any content creator. Kevin Samuels was the best person. He was patient enough. He knew how to communicate with women. He knew how to talk to women. Most of us, if we had to do that, we'd already be off the platform. Because we have already talked either too much or we've gotten too frustrated. We didn't know how to communicate to women in ways they can understand it. And that's another thing Kevin Samuels don't get a credit for. He knows how to deal with women in ways in which they can understand it and not feel so offended. Now, obviously, some are going to be offended, but he did it in such a masterful way. And he can do it in a way where, yeah, you're being criticized, but you can still honestly believe this man loves black women the way he's talking to me. This man don't hate women. This man's not a misogynist. Now, could he be a little bit of an elitist? That ain't got nothing to do with sexism. You might be able to make that argument in that case, but that don't have anything to do with what we're talking about here. And he wasn't elitist either, but I'm just saying, if you want to make something, you can try to at least call him that, but that don't have nothing to do with the topic. The topic was whether you hate women. And he's been judged upon stuff for people who's never even heard his work. Kevin Samuels' biggest haters haven't even listened to a whole video. Have never listened to a video. Have never listened to a whole show. Like most of us have. Have never been in a live stream. And then you see why it has so many fans if you actually were smart enough to go ahead and do that. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.